Joining me now is Ambassador Mark Ginsburg. He is a former diplomat in the Clinton and the Carter administrations, and he is currently a senior advisor to the Counterterrorism Project. Thanks for being with us, Ambassador Ginsburg. From the information that you have, and granted I'm going to ask you to speculate here, but what do you think happened to Jamal Khashoggi?
I think what has happened is what the Turkish officials claim, and what I think anyone who's reasonably intuitive about what this was all about understands. Khashoggi was lured into the embassy because of his personal desire to obtain a permit for him to obtain a divorce certificate for his upcoming nuptials in Istanbul that would occur the next day. He was ambushed by a group of Saudi intelligence officials inside who tortured him, interrogated him, and dismembered his body, and then took the parts out to the consulate in the home of the consul general in Istanbul. And this was done at the highest levels of the Saudi government. Well,
I guess that's exactly what it boils down to. How much of this, if at all, did the Crown Prince know? It would be helpful for the Trump administration for them to say, you know, the Crown Prince didn't know about this, these were rogue agents, because it kind of gets them out of the pickle that they're in. But on the other side, Ambassador, it could very well be that this was an attempt to make the Crown Prince look bad with the Trump administration. He has no shortage of enemies, both in the Saudi establishment and elsewhere, and it does play very conveniently into their agenda that there is now this tension with the Trump administration.
You really laid out, you're the first person that I have heard lay out what essentially could be a very plausible explanation, that is absolving the Crown Prince and the royal family from this, and these were rogue elements that were ordered by some elements of the military intelligence authorities.
Anyone in the Ritz Carlton that was held under those corruption crackdown charges has an axe to grind with the Crown Prince. I'm not saying that this was the case, but there certainly is a case to be made for that.
It's conceivable, and it's just as conceivable that the Crown Prince, who does not like criticism and who knew that Khashoggi was dishing out on a regular basis from the Washington Post criticism of his role and his rule.
Would he risk this kind of fallout, or was he not expecting this kind of collateral damage?
Michelle, this is the Crown Prince.
It was a conspicuous killing.
Michelle, this is the Crown Prince who has rounded up women protesters, who lured the Prime Minister of Lebanon and placed him under house arrest, who's engaged in, while he claims to be a great reformer, has been throwing his critics left and right into jail, as well as all those enemies who wound up in the Riyadh Ritz for corruption charges. So he has, in effect, used his rule not to reign, but to punish as well.
I certainly can't vouch for his moral fiber, but there are different explanations here. I guess the crux of the matter is, Ambassador, what should the U.S. do about this? How much action should the U.S. take, and to what extent should this derail U.S.-Saudi cooperation on several matters? Of course, top of mind, Iran.
Look, I want to be very careful about this because I want to be laser-like Michelle. We still don't know who ordered this killing. Okay, so you're right. It could be rogue elements of the Saudi government who are enemies of the Crown Prince and the royal family, because there's plenty of Crown Princes and other princelings, not Crown Princes, but princelings out there who would like to see Mohammed bin Salman gone. Number two, Congress is going to take it out of the hands of the administration to decide what to do against Saudi Arabia. I have never seen so much anger in Washington among a huge bipartisan number of senators and congressmen. And they will do more than what this administration is prepared to do once everyone finds out what exactly happened.
We want to get more of your thoughts on this, Ambassador. Stick around.